Good morning, everyone. Let's call court to order. Is there a motion to accept this report for recording purposes?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
I get the card okay tonight. Good thing we're gonna have got it.
Recording in progress.
Let's call court to order. Today is Monday, April 15th, tax day, 2024, 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Thursday, April 11th, 2024 at 3:30 p.m.
All right, thank you. Let's stand briefly for a moment of silence, and then we'll have a pledge to the flags.
Thank you.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pledge to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. At this time, if there's any members of the audience or the public that want to speak to the court on business matters, please do so at this time. All right, good morning.
Good morning.
If you would, introduce yourself, give us your name and address, and we allow about 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Good morning. I am Jean Boone, E. Jean Boone. I reside at 209 Faulkner Lane, Waco, Texas. I was constituent of Precinct 2. It has come to my attention as a constituent of Precinct 2 that there is a historical revisionist attempt in McLennan County in the person of James Lee, who is the presiding JP for Precinct 2. And I felt it imperative to bring it to this court's attention. In December 2023, I visited JP Lee's office for a legal matter when I noticed that my official portrait had been removed from the official portrait wall in the Kelly Napier Justice Center. Upon inquiry, I was informed my portrait had been placed on the floor in the courtroom. Returning to the court again on March 14th of this year, my portrait was still missing. I then had the opportunity to speak with JP Lee directly about it. He then informed me that he had no intention of replacing the portrait back up on the wall. When I asked why not, and I'm quoting him now, he said, because I don't want to, and then asked me if I wanted to take it home. I was elected in 1999 as the first Black female judge in McLennan County, and my tenure lasted for 14 years. That historical fact is not only important to me, but is a vital fact, is a historical fact and a vital part of the history of the East Waco community and McLennan County as well. It is my opinion that JP Lee is attempting to erase history, and that is unacceptable. Communities need their leaders to act with integrity and serve the people they represent, specifically their constituents, and not serve via their own personal biases, whatever they may be. It is disappointing to see the kind of behavior being exhibited by a judicial official in the position of authority, such as JP Lee. Precinct 7 existed prior to Precinct 2, as you are aware, and this is a historical fact and not an alternative fact. Prior to JP Lee presiding as the judicial officer for Precinct 2, 2 judges served in Precinct 7, myself and JP Cullen Harris, and no one should be attempted to erase any part of that history. Let's remember and honor the legacy of Precinct 7 and the vision of Commissioner Lester Gibson, who along with this McLennan County Commissioner's Court's assistance was at the vanguard of creating additional Black American leadership, political leadership in and for East Waco and McLennan County respectively. Finally, there needs to be no historical revisions taken for Precinct 7 at all. Thank you. And I will note that I have sent a letter detailing this narrative both to County Judge Felton and JP Lee.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Did you have any questions?
In public comments, we can't ask questions.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted it on the record, though.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good to see you,
Have a
ma'am.
good day.
Good to see you.
All right. Any other public comments? Seeing none. Under proclamations and resolutions, we have nothing this week. Under the consent agenda, recommended pulls are E3A and E36, E3A and E6D. Are there any other pulls recommended by the court? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of the previously mentioned pulls?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass. Thank you. Under the pulled item E3A, there's no action today on that. Under E6D, the ACFR from the auditor.
Yeah, so
Francis?
this is
the recording of our annual comprehensive financial report for 2023. I had originally planned on doing a presentation today and going over some highlights, but I don't have the bound copies yet. We should have those any day.
Okay.
So on the next agenda, I wanted you to have those in your hands and we could go through some of the pieces of that. But today it's just recording that document.
Okay, is there any questions in it? The document's actually on file, recorded in our agenda.
Yes, sir.
And then the hardbound copy. So do you want action?
Yes, you just need to accept it for recording
Okay.
today.
All right, thank you.
I'd make a motion to accept it for recording purposes.
Second.
All right, I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass. Thank you. All right, Dustin?
Yes, sir. So we can move on to item F, bids, RFPs, RFQs. F1 is authorization of quote from Brazos Media Technologies for McGregor Tax Office audio upgrade quote. John?
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Excuse me. This is part of a project we've been working on at the McGregor Tax Office and the JP office out there. We first started with a camera system that we were installing that has already been approved by court. We had a very specific problem, though. We have the tax office out there, and we are not allowed to pick up the courtroom, which is, you can hear that almost everywhere out there. So we had to do a lot of research in this. It's been over a year in the making, but we finally came up with this with Brazos Media. They given us a quote here for audio equipment. It's special microphones and such to put in out at the tax office. As you can see on there, the total is $12,340.50. This has been reviewed by several, the IT department, Brazos Media, the tax, and the legal, and is recommended for approval.
All right, any questions on that? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a
Hey,
motion.
John,
Yes, sir.
this is Jim Smith here. I have a question. This is something that wasn't budgeted. And so it wasn't foreseeable when the last budget was put together, so that, you know, it comes back to what I ask all the time. Why are we doing things in the middle of the budget year when it wasn't in the budget, or it's not an emergency item? But I would assume this would be considered emergency from the standpoint of we weren't aware of the situation.
Well, excuse me. So we were aware of the situation. We weren't aware that it would cost extra money above and beyond the the video system that we had planned to put in out there. Since we're getting ready to install the video system, it made sense to install the microphones at the same time, because otherwise we could have issues with picking up courtroom conversation and courtroom decisions. So it is unexpected, yes, but frankly not foreseeable until we ran into the issue.
Okay, all right, thank
So
you.
we are asking for a contingency for this item.
All right, any other questions? We have a motion and a second. No other questions. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass. One question,
F2.
Dustin, back on the consent agenda under the burn ban. Our burn ban that we put on for the eclipse, we had a maturity date on it, didn't we?
That's right. I believe it was ended on April the 9th.
Okay.
So that's correct.
All right, so we're good where we are. All right,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. All right.
F2 is discussion and/or action regarding bidding hail damage roofs utilizing a cooperative agreement process. TJ Ken?
I'll just share from the hail damage that we received on the roofs. We took on the consultant that's suggested by TAC. The TAC consultant had a suggestion on how to do all these roofs under the TAC insurance, and the recommendation was to use a cooperative agreement and select roofing company or companies to do the roofs. I just wanted to make sure that the court was aware of the process that we were going to use to do this. Under the TIPS contract, all the major roofing companies in Waco belong to that cooperative. So rather than doing full-blown bids, we can use quotations to these roofing companies and select the best company to do that. We're going to do it in two different lots. I think we have some kind of major under two of them, and then minor under several others. And that, so we'll be selecting roofing companies using this process. And like I said, I just wanted the court to be aware, but all the major players that we've used in the past belong to this TIPS cooperative, so it shouldn't be an issue in someone not getting an opportunity to quote on it.
And you could use several vendors on, you wouldn't have, at one time, in other words, you could split them up, that doesn't.
We could do that. Yes.
Okay. And TJ, do you have any additional comments on that?
No, sir. I think Ken covered it all. No, we're pretty excited to see it up and going, so we're ready to get these taken care of.
And Dustin, do you see any legal issues in this?
No, sir, we should be good.
Okay. All right, any questions from the court? All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the use of the TIPS contract cooperative for our major roof hail damage.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If no other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass. Thank you.
Right, under item G, contracts, interlocal agreements, G1s regarding the use agreement with Waco Rowing Club. This is for the championship event at Trading House Lake Park, recording a certificate of liability insurance. I visited with Matt Schertzel earlier this morning. He's still waiting on those certificates. So hopefully the mass gathering permit has been approved. So if the court is okay, we thought maybe we could allow judge and legal to review those certificates of insurance and accept those and then bring them back following court session for ratification, if that is okay.
And they would be under the same terms and agreement that we had last year.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
All right. All right, any questions or comments?
I make a motion to allow the county judge to review all insurance-related documents for the Trading House event coming up.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass. Thank you.
G2s regarding the industrial business grant with Zinc Power Incorporated, authorization of grant payment. So Zinc Power is requesting payment of the 2023 personal property and real property taxes paid as part of their industrial business grant agreement contract with the county. They have paid those personal and real property taxes, and they are requesting $77,080.24. This has been reviewed by our office, by the chamber, and then by Francis as well. It's recommended for approval.
And under our contract with the chamber, part of their duties for, to provide us would be to review these and be sure they're accurate before getting them to audit, and audit does their review on them. So looks like we're all good on this. I'd make a motion, we approve the grant payment to Zinc Power.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass. Thank you.
G3 is authorization of service agreement with Active Pure Enterprise for air and surface annual maintenance program. Ken?
There was a chart left on your desk this was developed by the medical at the jail. I asked David Ives if he could get this for us. And again, it starts in 21, and the first 5 bar graphs up are 21, and so forth and so on. And as you can see, kind of in the height of COVID in 22, we had a large number of COVID tests. And I just want to point out that the Active Pure system did not come active until about June of 22. So all of the first part of 22, we did not have this system in place. after putting the system in place in '22, you can see that there's somewhat of a drop in COVID, but it's showing some of the upper respiratory complaints is rather high. And then we get into 24 and everything is back down what I would call a norm, other than, we still have some COVID cases and so forth and so on. So I don't know, and again, this is just for the jail, Highway 6 jail in Jack Harwell. So I don't know if this helps any decision making, but I did ask Active Cure to give me a quote on actually doing a test from the people that did the original test. And the quote for that service is,
It's in notes,
yeah, it's a quote of $4,500 to go in and do the full-blown test that we got before we installed the Active Pure system. And so I don't have a recommendation or direction for the court. I just want to provide this information and see what y'all would like to do.
okay. Well, also, just because we get reports from the hospitals, that a lot of respiratory stuff had gone down except RSV, I think,
Yes,
and,
I agree.
but flus and all that have been, down quite a bit. I would, we need a little bit more time, probably to see how this thing runs out. I would recommend if we don't do third-party tests now, that we look at sometime before we look at this again next year,
Okay.
just to be sure, because,
Well, there's not a
It's gotta be
baseline
helpful.
prior to either. It's kind of,
pardon me?
I said, there's not a baseline prior to
Got it.
give us a,
Yeah. Yeah. Commissioner Smith, did you have a question?
Yes, sir. If I could jump in, and I apologize. I want to say, first of all, Judge, the sound coming from the courtroom is really poor. I hear much better everyone talking that's remote than you can from the courtroom. So I may be repeating what has already been said, but it seems to me that we're really not able to judge based on what prior illnesses were here or weren't here. Different people, it's not a controlled test in my mind to determine that it's really working like it's supposed to. I would much prefer to see air samples tested to know what pollens has been removed, a baseline versus where we are now. Hair, pollen, whatever else can be removed from those systems, as opposed to how many illnesses are there, which we really, you have no control over based on who's coming in, who's coming out. And that's my opinion. I'd like to see us defer this right now to have some more thought on it.
Jim, just so you know, there was testing done. When did we do that, Ken?
It would have been about 21.
21. So we do have a baseline for testing. We just don't have a baseline for these numbers.
Yeah, illnesses.
And do we have a baseline for the jailer days out sick and things like that? I mean, I
Tried to get that at one time and that didn't,
I don't think you've
that was
had
during
any
a
luck, right?
transition period, yeah.
Well, we put this system in by the help of ARPA money, and, but the ongoing cost has to be carried by us. The big money was up front. I think it was, I forget how much it was, but I think it's gonna take a little bit more time, but also I still agree that third-party testing it'd be good to know. And the other thing would be if a guy maybe knows of other incarceration facilities that have some maybe better numbers than us, might be a good source to look as well.
And then possibly another way to look at it as well is you do another test there, but maybe we should test the courthouse or the records building
Yeah,
to see what the numbers come out as. They should be a good bit higher.
Well, that's
than
a-
what they'd be at the jail,
yeah, I'm not,
if it's working.
yeah. The concentration of folks out there,
It's a hotbed. No?
yeah, it should be the highest,
Numbers.
yeah, incidence of communicable respiratory stuff. I know we did a test here because there was a claim that there was mold in the courthouse in one of the offices, and we tested it, and the comparison was to outside. And we had more, much higher test outside the building than we had inside, so it tells us that the HVAC system that we have in here, even though it's older and all that, the fact that we're changing filters and
Still doing
those things, it was better, and so it was that was the only indication we had, but it was comparative to the outside. I mean, I don't think we ought to jump the program at all. I mean, I think,
I agree 100% that we need to see another
yeah.
time frame.
So when's the contract up? For the
Well,
annual?
this maintenance agreement needs to go into place pretty soon. They wanted to start actively replacing
Filters.
filters, photo cells in May, so.
And what was what was the?
33,000.
Yeah, $33,000, 10 cents per square foot.
Is that an annual, and that's an annual, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, sorry.
okay. And then the other thing that concerns me is that we're seeing an increase in the amount of our population out there that are undocumented folks. And there's a higher incidence of the old diseases we used to have, like chicken pox and all that, measles, in that population than we have in our own population. And so I'd hate to let my guard down right now.
Right, and then we end up having to
Yeah.
care for a few of the folks that have come
Yeah,
across that are
and-
sick, and we,
So the jail manages to have space for quarantining and all that, but we can exceed that capacity if we're not careful, so. Mr. Smith, I understand, I feel the same way you do, I think we're, so I don't know what information that we would get that would tell us, let's scrap the program. That would be a decision I'd prefer myself to make next year, after we had one more year under our belt. And, but I'm open to, your suggestions as well, so.
well, with that being said, we've got to move forward on the replacement and the maintenance.
To keep
Or-
it active or
right,
continue to work
So
effectively.
I'll make a motion that we approve the cost for the maintenance of the system, and that we do closer monitoring between now and next year.
Right, and I would ask Ken and Major Ives, by the way, congratulations, Major Ives, to gather data and also see what other incarceration facilities have that are using this and the ones that aren't. If we can,
Put a little
we're
work
not
into it, we
scientists.
might find out that, we will find out if we just turn a few stones over.
Most of the members of this court are very intelligent people, most of them. The judge is hurting the curve downward. So we have to depend on other entities or.
Yeah, I think it's imperative we get some testing done on this so we can have a baseline and know if we want to go forward. I mean, What was the total amount that we spent on, or of ARPA dollars that went out on this?
300,000?
362,000, I think.
Yeah, well, it's not, that would be, I think that'd be a little, it'd be not appropriate for us to scrap that expensive of a system this early into the.
And would anybody be opposed to having the representative from the company back to update us?
Yeah, that'd be
on the
great.
Technology and how things are looking and working, and just have that level of comfort of knowing that.
Sure, yeah.
When we were evaluating and choosing a system, I mean, we were using all the data testing that they had done prior to like putting out the systems nationwide. And that's what we were looking at when we made the decisions that we did compared to other systems. So it looked good to us.
Especially in that time.
And at that time. And again, I just, on that highest level on that chart, again, we didn't even get it put in place until halfway through that year. So it'd be good if we do the first half and then the second half. So anyway.
Commissioner Smith, did you have another comment? Okay. And then I don't belabor this thing too much longer, but the Major Ives, if you're on, or someone from the jail, if any comment from y'all, since you're hopefully the beneficiary of it.
Well, Judge, this is David. We don't have enough data to be able to say definitively if the system has had a substantial impact. So I think that your statement of allowing to let that occur for another year and gather more data, because having just 1 year of implementation in between a year directly after COVID is not the best way to measure that metric. So I believe that letting it go for another year so that we can have valid data for those 2 year period would be more relevant to the court.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
May I make a comment or have
Yes.
a question? So I know last time we discussed this, it was mentioned, using ARPA funding for this year. Of course, if we move forward with it, it would be a general fund expense in the future.
Yes.
But for this year, would you all like to, we do have, of course, some excess funds in ARPA. Do you want to use it for this?
Yes. I mean, I would
Okay.
think we would
If you would just add that to your motion, and then we'll bring a budget amendment for ARPA back to you.
Okay, would you amend your motion?
I will amend my motion to use the funds to pay for the maintenance from ARPA funds.
And I'll second.
Okay, the motion was amended and the second was amended. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass. Thank you.
All right, moving on to item G4 regarding the standard form of agreement with Brinkley Sargent Wigington Architects, authorization of amendment. This is McLennan County Downtown Jail remodel for courtrooms and office space. As the court knows from last update, we looked at potentially adding some things to this project, including the elevator between purchasing and the downtown jail and some other areas. So this amendment brings in some adjustments. It brings in the purchasing building, electronic as-built, code consultant, fire protection, new existing elevator code design assistant, exterior envelope consultant, and a purchasing building as-built refit model. So that totals $219,620. TJ, is there anything additional you'd like to add to this?
No, I think that about covers it, Dustin. So, keep in mind that when we originally took this thing out to RFQ, we had a designated somewhat scope of work, and that scope has created additional things that we found needed. So this is what we're bringing forth now, is that additional items that need to be taken care of. So we've reviewed it. We recommend it for approval, and I think they're ready to get going. So.
Okay. Any questions from the court?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Dustin, is this ARPA money or money from general budget?
It's,
Commissioner, And Francis, you can add in, we could pay Brinkley Sargent through the ARPA funds, and I think that's something that will be a discussion point in the future. I think to date, Francis said we use general fund dollars.
We've used bond proceeds.
Bond, okay.
Yes, sir.
So it come from the bonds we've already sold for this project.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty standard.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? Other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
G5 is authorization of memorandum of understanding with Texas ENT and Allergy, McLennan County Indigent Healthcare Program. Heather?
Good morning. So what I have before you is a new MOU with Texas ENT and Allergy. And they are located at 601 West Highway 6, Suite 106 here in town. And they're a full-service independent ear, nose, and throat allergy and audiology private practice, and they're fairly new. This clinic will be open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and it should enhance the collection of healthcare professionals that we have available through the County Indigent Healthcare Program.
All right. And how did you go about selecting this entity?
So, Judge, we've been working on locating, urgent care clinics and walk-in style clinics through McLennan County that are new. And so just kind of doing that landscape analysis, we have found a couple of others that have popped up in the last couple of years. And we don't have an actual allergy provider specifically outside of the two major networks. And this is a private entity. So we reached out to them and they were eager and anxious to do business with them. And so I'm presenting the MOU before you. So that's kind of how we found them. Okay. And this is, if I recall, this doctor that opened this clinic, he came from Ascension Providence.
Okay, and so the two larger providers that you mentioned, of course, are the two hospitals. Are they, so they wouldn't have anybody that qualify?
Yes, sir, they do. They, if I recall, they do have within the network, and we're partnered with them as well.
Okay, okay. All right, any other questions or comments? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the MOU with Texas ENT and Allergy.
Second.
All right, they have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
G6, authorization of support and maintenance agreement with Excella Technologies for records management. John?
Hello again. This is just a renewal of our existing maintenance agreement. We're happy with the service that Wix and Wilson provides. This is for our high quality scanner. It's $2,476.11. As you can see, gone up just slightly from last year. And this agreement runs from 6/5/24 to 6/4/25. This has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
Okay, any questions?
Make a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
G7 is authorization of interlocal cooperative agreement with Lorena Independent School District for routine road maintenance. Commissioner Smith?
Just pretty much a routine interlocal. They've got some repairs that they need made from time to time. So this allows us to go out there and do some work for them when the need arises. So I would make a motion that we approve G7.
Second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
G8, authorization of wastewater inspection system agreements for Road and Bridge Precinct 2. G8A is regarding permit number 15167, and G8B is regarding permit number 9007. TJ?
Yes, so both of these are the annual maintenance agreements for the roadway systems at Road and Bridge 2. You'll see there's a slight increase this year, nothing to be too skeptical about or too crazy about. So we've reviewed this, we recommend it for approval.
All right, any questions or comments? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion to approve GA8 and G8B.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
G9, authorization of engagement letter with Gabriel Roeder Smith and Company in North Central Texas Council of Governments. This is for other post-employment benefits and governmental accounting standards board 75 valuation reports. Francis?
Yes, so this is the engagement letter for the next year's services to be provided by Gabriel Roeder Smith. So this is a requirement. They evaluate our OPEB, our other post-employment benefits, and they calculate our liability for our financial statements.
All right, any questions,
So,
comments?
Their work, do they provide a report for us, or is it just in the CAFR?
Yes, they provide a report, and then they help us with our disclosures, and so then that ends up, yes, in our ACFR at the end of the year.
Do we get a copy of the report?
We do.
Okay. Do you
And
send it to us?
We don't, but we can definitely do that.
Okay.
We will start doing that.
So I'll make a motion to approve the engagement letter with GRS and NCTCOG.
All right, and Mr. Smith, Commissioner Smith, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
G10 is authorization of group sales agreement with AC Hotels Marriott for the Greater Waco Area Economic Development Luncheon. Back in December, the court approved hosting this luncheon and meeting. Suzanne has been working on it, and this is the agreement that goes along with it, and she sent me some details as well. As of today, there's 35 estimated plates. Actual head count will be due 3 days prior. So it's $875 for food, and then a service charge will bring it to around $1,100 total is what it's looking like right now. So we just need a motion to approve this agreement with AC Hotels.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve this expenditure.
Second?
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
G11 is regarding the VMAX support agreement with Votech Corporation, discussion and or action regarding a surcharge invoice. Jerry, do you want to kind of describe what you received from Votech, and then Mike is available as well?
Absolutely. Good morning, Court. So we received a letter a few weeks back from Votech. Votech is the company, the vendor who runs our voter registration system. They have sent this letter to all of their customers here in the state of Texas. Basically, what they're doing is they have given all of us an unexpected surcharge and extra invoice this year of 35%. And so the reason being is that it looks like they're trying to make a new version of the software that we use, and I guess they didn't handle their funds like they were supposed to, and so they're asking all Texas counties for this 35% invoice and surcharge. Here in McLennan County, it's going to be about $18,828.18. Of course, I need to come to you guys to see kind of what you think about it, and if this is something that we can pay. I'm concerned about it, of course, for the money, but also, this is our voter registration system, something that we need. Of course, we're coming up on a presidential election, something that I don't believe that we can switch at this time, and I think it is something that we're going to need to pay. Mike, do you have anything else you'd like to add on that?
Yes, I mean, it is our voter registration system, and that's what's pulled during the election.
Yes.
To make sure the voter is qualified to vote.
Exactly.
And like was said, it's not something that you can just go in and replace. There's all sorts of things that have to be done, and the training is massive.
Yeah.
But to add to it, counties like Harris County have paid the surcharge because they understand that there's no way that they're going to be able to change for this election. A lot of other counties have paid the surcharge.
Yeah, I've also talked to Fort Bend County. They're going to pay it. Talked to Williamson County. They're pushing their commissioners to pay it as well. Harris County, I believe they paid around $120,000. Fort Bend County, I know it was about twice of what ours was being charged, so 30-something thousand. I don't have the exact number, but I know it was over 30,000. Henderson County is going to pay. Now, Henderson County is smaller than us, but still, they are another one that's being added to the pile of counties that are going to pay this fee.
And they have talked about the difference between counties and that pay and don't pay. And here's the biggest deal is, no, the contract doesn't necessarily allow for it or not allow for it. It doesn't necessarily address it. It addresses a surcharge, but our surcharge was set at 4 cents a voter, which this will be a significant raise. But again, there's not much else we can do. There's the technology is such that changing over would not be something that could be done for the election. Now, they have sent us a more recent letter that says that our payment will go towards, it'll be allowed towards our cost of the new system.
Like a license for the
Yeah, the licenses for the new system. So we can think about it like we were going to do the new system. So we can think about it like prepaying a license. That makes it a little bit more tolerable to do.
And just to add on, I have talked to one of Votech's competitors. I had a meeting with them on Friday to see, kind of what options we have. And it definitely sounds like they're not going to be able to get us up and running before the presidential. And this doesn't just affect my employees here in my office. This is also going to affect our poll workers, because this the software that Votech provides for us is what we use for our poll books. And so our poll workers would, not only would we have to learn a new system, so would our poll workers, which concerns me going into a big election like we're about to go into.
I'm going to kind of speak for the court a little bit here. I don't think that the court's looking at changing right in the middle. It exposes too much liability. Right.
Exactly.
Doing that. It's just more about having to do this. So what does it say about the company you're doing business with?
We have to.
And so we have to go through this deal. I don't know whether we, like the new, this is an installment towards the new system or whatever. So the new system, when does that go into effect? Is that after this coming year, after November?
So the new software has gone into effect at some counties. I know some counties are using it right now. I've, resisted because I don't like to be the guinea pig. I want to make sure that whatever's being used has been thoroughly tested, thoroughly vetted, and actually this may be something to where even if we do pay it, it's like, hey, can we hold off on moving? Well, we want to continue to use what's tested and what is, proven at this point.
Well, if we do that, then that means that we're giving them the money and we're not getting the new system under this year. But I don't like being put in these kind of situations. I'd rather, if we got to do this, I'd rather convert it to like a loan to them or something, which we'd probably never get back. But
it's just very disappointing that they would pick a time between the primary and the general to go, okay, it's a great time to ask for more money, knowing that there's not enough time to do anything about it.
Well, I completely agree with you. It is disappointing.
We have to look long and hard if we want to continue with Votech is the thing.
Yeah.
New system or not.
Right, and I think you're going to see their competitors really seeing an opportunity here and be coming forward, and we'll hear from lots of them. And the other concerning thing is we know of counties that aren't going to pay this. So are we throwing good money after bad if they still can't deliver because enough counties didn't pay? There's just all kind of things to worry about on this deal, and not to speak of claims that this interfered with an election and all that kind of business that goes on. So,
and I agree. It's very disappointing, and the timing, it couldn't be any worse, in all honesty. So, and it's one of those things that's, I feel like I've been kind of backed into a corner, and that's the reason I'm asking to go ahead and pay it, is because I don't feel like I have another option, a legitimate option to make sure that we get through this presidential election without any hiccups.
Any other
And
thoughts?
if you decide not to use it for a while, it still is a credit against, we will end up changing to the new system at some point.
Right.
And it's a credit against that new system.
Well,
But Judge, I
ideally-
understand what you're saying is if there's enough counties that don't pay, are they still gonna have solvency issues?
Yeah.
But
So-
they've said in the letter that the counties that pay will be concentrated on, and so.
So Mike, this is a bankruptcy question. If one of their options would be, I guess, to go under 11 or one of the chapters where they could sell their stock and all this technology, this new system and all would go with it. That could be a possibility, I guess, right?
I just think 18,000 is a small price to pay to know, to have at least some idea that we're going to get the level of services that we have in the past.
Okay.
I have talked to other counties. One of the counties I talked to is the elections administrator. He's been around for a long time. He made me feel a little better that, he doesn't seem to think that VOTEC is going to be going anywhere, even with this issue that's going on right now. So, I think it's the least risky option at this point.
Okay. Any other questions?
Hey, Judge,
Yes.
my support would be going ahead and paying it under protest, but Jared and Mike continue to look at what options are out there up to and including litigation by ourselves or with some of the other counties that are being held hostage like we are.
I agree.
So that's my thought.
I think that's a good thought.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna step out there and make a motion that we pay this ransom fee and go down the road and hope for the best. But we keep options open on how to recover this in some way, contractually or legally or litigation or whatever.
Second that.
All right, we have a motion. Second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
I appreciate that, Court, and appreciate that, Judge. Thank you very much.
You bet.
All right, item G12, authorization of amendment number 8 to inmate telephone service agreement with Global Tellink Corporation doing business as Viapath Technologies. Ken, Major Ives.
Since I've worked on it some, the current term expires on July 5th, 2024. This would extend our agreement from, it's a 3-year term, July 6, 2024 through July 5th, 2027. It does have an automatic renewal clause in there for additional 1-year periods, though we can opt out if we give 90 days notice prior to the expiration of any term. The new agreement puts in place an amount of 6 cents per minute for each completed billable ITS call, and it also provides a one-time $50,000 technology grant amount. I also want to say, because David Ives touched on this, is that we practically have a GTS person living out yonder in the building to take care of any issues there. So it's been reviewed by everyone, and if David has anything else to say, I say we recommend to extend it through amendment number 8.
David, any other comments?
So we did have a brief negotiation with GTL to get those 625, 5, 50,000 rates that you see for the 3-year term. We believe that's the best for us. The service has been excellent that we received from them as a vendor. The employee that Ken is talking about is a full-time employee that sits out at the jail to address any of those issues, and all of the issues that we have are addressed in a very timely and efficient manner for us. We appreciate the service that Via Path has given us.
Okay. All right. Any other comments?
Well, and Cheryl's here if you want to ask her any questions.
I think she liked everything she just heard. Well, we do, we're very fortunate. Our relationship with you guys has been since I've been on the court. And as they were saying, we appreciate the service you give us.
Appreciate it. And glad that we could bump up your commissions like we were able to do this time.
So
We're
are we.
excited about that.
So are we.
What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the amendment.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? Discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
G13 is authorization of advanced funding agreement and related resolution for bridge replacement or rehabilitation off the state system with the state of Texas acting by and through the Texas Department of Transportation, referencing San Ann Road at Davis Branch. Zane?
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So this is a funding agreement with TxDOT for them to replace the bridge on San Ann Road over Davis Branch in Precinct 4. Our match portion that we will be required to come up with is roughly $45,137. We will be responsible for any right-of-way acquisition and utility relocation costs, but that's anticipated to be very minor, if any. And so it's recommended that the court approve this resolution and agreement. And it's expected that TxDOT will send the agreement at a later date via DocuSign through email for the judge to sign off on. So this agreement and resolution is recommended for approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
G14, authorization of equipment sales order with Kirby Smith Machinery for Road and Bridge Precinct 1. Commissioner Smith?
Yes, this is a request for the purchase of this pneumatic tire roller. I think the budgeted amount or the amount that we originally approved was a little bit different. And so we've asked that the court approve this amount.
Okay, any?
That'd be my motion.
Okay, thank you. Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
G15, authorization of service order with Charter Communications Operating LLC doing business as Spectrum Enterprise for juvenile detention internet service renewal order. John?
Yeah, this is just a service renewal. We had let it expire, so we were paying month to month. This renews at the same rate and everything. There's no changes, and it guarantees it for a 3-year period. It has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
All right, any questions? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
Under item H, capital improvement and construction projects, H1s regarding the Castleman Creek watershed floodwater retarding structure site number 2 repair project contract agreement with Janik and Witten Construction. H1A is authorization of modification change order number 1, and H1B is authorization of payment application number 3. Zane?
Yes, sir. So H1A is a no-cost change order. It's for 51 additional days to perform the work due to rain delays experienced, and they continue to get more delays due to the rain we've been receiving. But it's recommended for that to be approved due to the rain days. And then H1B is their pay at number 3 in the amount of $113,739.06. It covers from December the 18th of last year through March the 20th of this year. So That's been reviewed and is recommended for approval as well.
All right, any questions? There's no questions. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
H2, regarding construction of Panther Branch Road and Bridge at Rock Springs Creek, agreement with Knife River Corporation South, authorization of application for payment number 4. Zane?
Yes, sir. So this is payment number 4 for the bridge being constructed on Panther Branch Road in Precinct 4. And the bridge is about 60% complete. So this pay app is in the amount of $134,559. And it's been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
All right, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
H3, regarding Chapel Road improvements, agreement with Casparian Underground LLC, doing business as H&B Contractors, authorization of application for payment number 1. Zane?
Yes, sir. So this is the first pay app for the Chapel Road Improvements Project. It's roughly an $18 million project in conjunction with the City of Waco for their portion of the water line. This is the first payment app totaling a little bit over $1 million. It's been reviewed by the City of Waco, by our consultant engineers and Walker Partners, and I've reviewed it as well, and it's recommended for approval.
All right, what's the status out there in regards to turning dirt and those kind of things?
They've made good progress, and they've started clearing and grubbing, and started trying to get some storm sewers in, drainage work, but it's moving along just fine.
They started on the old Arena Road in.
Okay. Coming back towards Ritchie, or, yeah.
They have moved a lot of dirt so far.
Any complaints from the neighbors?
Initially, the first month, but that was to be expected. And after the first month, we've not had hardly any, if any, complaints.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
Under item I, budget amendments, I-1s regarding the FY24 budget. Francis?
Thanks, Dustin. So starting with I-1A, we have a budget amendment in Fund 401, our Permanent Improvement Fund. This is to increase the line for office modifications at the JP4 building in McGregor. This was a project you approved on the last agenda on April the 2nd. I-1B, this is general fund for the Heart of Texas Fairgrounds repair and maintenance. There's been a request to increase that line by that $122,310. And this is to cover HVAC repairs or replacements on 7 of the air handling units, as well as work on the main chiller unit. And I know, of course, TJ can answer technical questions on that request. I-1C, this is General Fund Jack Harwell Detention Center, and they're requesting to move within that department into furniture and equipment for costs for the remainder of the year. I-1D, this is General Fund Jury Service Department. This is a request to increase the line item for jury pay. So as you remember, the daily cost increased this year, and we left the budget as it was. Just I wanted to see how the budget tracked along through the year. So we're needing to increase that line item by $60,000 at this point in time. And then just to remind you, we do receive a state reimbursement. It's close to half of the amount. So our revenue, that state's jury pay supplement will increase as well. And then I-1E, this is General Fund Maintenance of Buildings. There's a request to increase janitorial services and to move from repair and maintenance in that department. And again, I know TJ can speak to that need if needed. I do want to make one verbal change. The bottom section, we need to, that line item, instead of being the deferred repair and maintenance, it just needs to be just repair and maintenance, which is 606000. So we'll make that change when we post the amendment if you approve.
Okay. All right, any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve all those items under budget amendments for 2024.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, we have nothing under item J this week. Under item K, grants, grant proposals. K1 is our ARPA discussion, and then K1A is regarding the professional consulting agreement with Lockwood Andrews and Newnham Incorporated, updated on water projects. And I believe we should have Haley and Lee from LAN with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, we gave y'all an update at the April 2nd meeting, and there were some concerns on the amount of money that has been spent so far. And I have these updates for y'all. Dustin, do you have the presentation, or do you want me to give them to you?
I do, and IT, do y'all have the updated one from Haley? If not, I will screen share.
Okay. I have a USB drive if that is helpful.
Thank you. How are you today? Good.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
So Dustin, I just provided a copy of the update that Riesel provided us, their engineer, and that's what they have here.
Good, thank you.
And let's see, so what does Commissioner Smith need that he wouldn't have access to?
Just the Riesel packet, I
Just the
believe.
Riesel package?
Yes.
Okay,
And I will email that to him.
all right. Okay, you may proceed.
Okay, so like I said, we gave an update based on the fourth quarter reports that we received last year, and that was about 2 weeks ago, and there were some concerns on the amount of money that had been spent, the progress on the projects, and that kind of thing. So we had meetings in Judge Felton's office the past week, right after the Commissioners Court meeting, and we met with those 4 entities that we were a little concerned with their schedule on, and we received positive feedback from all of them and feel that they will complete all of their projects within the time frame. So if you want to go to the next slide, Dustin. So one of the main things that we discussed with them was implementing a interim deadline like we had kind of discussed at the last meeting. So we will be having all of the entities submit a 100% plan set by September 1st, 2024 of this year. And that is in order to give the county plenty of time to get that money back if needed and use it for another project. And then the other deadlines are the same that we presented last time. You can go to the next slide, Dustin. So this is just an update on what I've received so far for the first quarter reports, which are due today by 5 p.m. So I've only received about 6 of them, and those are the ones highlighted in blue. We do have a few more that are in construction, specifically Ross and Cottonwood. And then McLennan County WCID number 2 has completed their cooling tower portion of the project, but their generators are in the bidding phase right now. And Bosque Basin's still complete, obviously. Can go to the next slide, Dustin. These are the revised construction completion dates that we received from the quarterly reports, monthly reports, and then the 4 one-on-one individual meetings we had with the entities. Again, the ones in blue are those that have been updated, and the ones that are not highlighted, we are waiting on information from them.
And so if I could just stop you right there. On that sheet, you might look down at Riesel is, their completion date is November 2027.
Yes.
But there are projects, and Mike, you may want to explain this, but they're in that process, they'll have a lot of ARPA approved expenses that we can fund.
Mm-hmm.
And those outside of that, we won't be funding anyway. Is that?
Right, so in the next few slides, we provided a breakdown of the individual meetings, what we kind of discussed there.
Okay.
And specifically for the city of Riesel and their arsenic project, we decided that it may be in the best interest of them and the court to have their engineers break out a portion of their project that can for sure be completed by then, and so they would now only report on that portion of the project.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And if Mike wants to add anything on that, he's welcome.
No, I mean, it is, that 12/31/2026 deadline isn't actually for a project to be completed, it's for the money to be expended. So if we can cut out a swath of the project that makes sense together and use the money on that, that will meet ARPA. Now, we're gonna, because early on, I didn't understand all the differences between the beneficiary and subrecipient agreements because the guidance hadn't come out. There is language in both RESL and a couple others that require completion by 12/31/26. And I'm going to be bringing to the court an order that changes those. And also, there's been a FAQ that came out from the Treasury Department that says that subrecipients no longer are under the 12/31/2024 obligation requirement. That's all.
Okay.
Okay, you can go to the next slide, Dustin.
Can we go back to that slide one real quick? Explain to us again the entities that have no completion date, just a little dash mark. What does that mean again?
Yes, sir. So when we were doing the allocation for the non-arsenic entities, they were not asked the same questions, essentially. They were not required to provide a schedule of their project. When we obtained all their information, we did a more, I guess, thorough look into the arsenic entities, and that is why we had completion dates for them. So we have actually requested full schedules and a ARPA fund drawdown schedule, essentially, from all of those entities that have a dash, and they are to provide it by today at 5 p.m.
Thank you.
So this is just an update on the overall amount of ARPA funds that have been spent. As you can see on the arsenic project side, there has not been an update or a change in the amount of money spent this quarter, but that is, I believe, mostly due to the fact that I have not received their reports yet. Again, they're due today. And then on the non-arsenic side, about $287,000 have been spent since last quarter. I've only received 6 reports overall, so we expect that to be a larger number. And you can go to the next slide, Dustin. So we wanted to go over the individual meetings with those 4 entities that we were concerned with their schedules on. And the first one we had was with Byram and FHLM. So their status from the engineer is that they're at the end of final design and that they plan to submit a completed plan set within the next 30 days to TCEQ for review. And then they feel that they can complete their construction project by the end of this calendar year. So we didn't see any further issues with that project. We are going to, again, implement that 100 plan set submittal deadline for them, which is September 1st of this year. You can go to the next slide. With FHLM, that's the same engineer, so they are also going to be submitting a completed plan set to TCEQ for review within the next 30 days, and they feel that they can also complete their construction within 90 to 120 days, and we will again require the 100% plan set submittal by September 1st. For the city of Riesel, they provided actually a project update, and that is the packet that y'all have there. So it provides some kind of in-depth information on the progress that they've achieved and what their next steps are. And as stated during the meeting, they will identify a portion of their project that can be completed, and then we'll submit that to the county. We'll update the subrecipient agreement to include that language, and then they will only report on that portion of the project. For LTG, they actually brought an entire complete 50% plan set, so there were no issues that we found with their project schedule after that meeting. And we'll just continue to monitor their progress and make sure that it can be completed by the deadline.
All right, any questions?
It's a good report.
Yes.
So, you feel like the entities are responsive and really on this?
Yes, sir. I think having those meetings with them after the last Commissioners Court meeting really helped reinforce that we're, wanting to have everything done by the deadline.
Right.
And the other entities, they generally always send their stuff on time, and we didn't find any issues with them.
And so, the rural water systems boards have really pressed on their engineers or their consultants to be responsive to us in this regard, because a lot of money they'll receive if they don't. Overall, generally speaking, do you have any concerns?
I don't think so anymore. After we had those one-on-one meetings and the engineers themselves provided an update, I think the only thing would be the Riesel project, but now that they're going to identify a piece and break it out, I don't think there would be any issues with that.
Right. And that's the way I felt as well, sitting in the meetings, and I think Dustin felt the same way. And so, what would be an appropriate time to come back to court to bring us up to date what's happened since this last meeting?
Yeah, so after I get all the reports in today, I think if y'all wanted to do another one within the next month, we could, to recap exactly what was on the quarterly reports, we could do that.
Okay.
Or if you wanted to do halfway between now and then the September 1st deadline to kind of see if everyone's on track to hit that 100% plan submittal deadline or not, we could do that as well.
Well, I would say because we're gonna be getting into budget and be tied up with a lot of other things, if we could have a report like the 1st of June, when do we start?
We'll start having, introductory discussions on budget probably in June, but we won't hit it hard until July.
Okay, so
June should be good.
anytime that you have enough information between now and the first meeting of June.
Okay.
And just work with Dustin and Reagan, and we'll get it on the agenda.
Perfect. We'll get that set up.
All right, any other questions for the group?
Again, I feel better seeing this report.
Yeah, oh yeah, I knew y'all would.
It was an
after we
excellent
sit in
report.
on that deal. They're engaged, so thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
All right, is there a motion to approve this report for recording purposes?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Dustin?
Moving on to item K1B, authorization of legal services invoices from Haley and Olson for ARPA matters for the month of March 2024. And this invoice totals $1,320, and it's for their March legal services related to ARPA, and it has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the invoice for Haley and Olson.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Under item L, Department Office Specific Request, L1 is Tax Office, recognition of McLennan County Tax Assessor Collector Randy H. Riggs, named as new Vice President of the Texas Association of Counties Board of Directors. The judge, I know Commissioner Smith had sent this over and thought it was proper to put it on the agenda to recognize Randy in that role as the VP on the TAC Board of Directors.
All right, Commissioner Smith, you're taking a big risk bragging on Randy very much in public, but do you have a few words to say?
Well, I'm very proud of Randy and his participation. He's extremely active. Randy is called on to make presentations around the state, and we at McLennan County need to publicly acknowledge his expertise and thank him for his service. And my understanding is once you get in that queue as the new vice president, that means he'll be moving up the ladder at some point to be president of TAC, so of the board of directors. So congratulations to him.
Yes, I agree, and appreciate all the work he's done. He's got a lot of knowledge about his area, but how the county runs in general. And so I don't know, I guess we can make for a motion to accept this recognition for recording purposes.
So move.
All right, there's a motion, and I'll second. Any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you, Commissioner.
All right, moving on to item M, additional items. M1 is discussion and or action regarding retired patrol vehicle request for BART Volunteer Fire Department. This would need to be deferred again. Judge, do y'all want to, keep deferring it? That way we keep it out in front of us and working on it, or do we want to pull it and then when the SO identifies a vehicle, put it back on the agenda?
Well, so if there's work being done on it, I'd keep it on there. If it's not, then we need to decide what we want to do. So
I think it's just a matter of timing and finding something suitable coming out of the fleet.
okay. Well, I'll make a motion, we defer it another time and see what we can find out.
Second.
All right. We have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
M2, selection, designation of public members of the Salary Grievance Committee regarding the FY25 budget. Mercedes, any update for today?
Currently, we have 3 members that have agreed to serve on the committee, and now we're just waiting on more responses from the other individuals we sent out correspondence to.
And I do just want to remind the court, last year we had switched from previously having voted to have the 9 public members on the Salary Grievance Committee back to the default, which is the county judge is a non-voting member, and then the 6 elected officials plus 3 from the public, and then alternate. So do we want to proceed with the default system again, or do we want to look at going back to the public member? And that's technically not what we're posted for here, but I did just want to point it out.
I wouldn't mind if we waited a little longer to see if we get the more involvement we can get from the public outside of here. I think the better off we are. If we get to the end and it doesn't appear, is there a timeline on when we have to declare whether we're gonna go to the what you call the de facto method or whatever the case may be?
I don't think so. It essentially just says, if the commissioner votes to have the 9 public members, there's no timeline on it that I'm aware of, but I'll dig into that more before next session as well.
I just can't imagine why somebody wouldn't be eager to get in the middle of a salary grievance for county employees. I don't know, but just me. All right, so no action needed here, so we'll keep working on it.
Yeah, and I do think that the way it's set up, as long as you do it a certain number of days after a request is received, that we're okay. So I think we'll be okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, moving on to item M3 regarding the Local Provider Participation Fund, LPPF, authorization of intergovernmental transfer of fund derived from the County Healthcare Provider Participation Fund. This is under the Graduate Medical Education GME program. Heather?
Yes, sir. So the request is for an IGT in the amount of $103,985.91 with the due date of April 17th and a settlement date of April 18th.
Okay, any questions on that? Much pleasure to the court.
Motion to approve the IGT.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
M4 is sorry.
No, go ahead.
M4 is authorization of web page request for McLennan County Wildfire Protection Planning. So this is a request to have a dedicated web page on the county website for information regarding the county wildfire protection planning. So it'd have the planning meetings, updates, application status, photos, and additional items from the Texas Forestry Service as well. So we would like to have that request to have a dedicated page.
I'll make a motion, we do so.
Second.
Motion made, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Under item N, Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project, N1s regarding the agreement with KDW Enterprises, Williams and Posey LLD, doing business as the Key Depot, authorization of invoice for the McLennan County Courthouse hardware replacement. TJ?
Yes, so this invoice from Key Depot is right in line where they are work-wise as of today. So we've reviewed this, recommended for approval. Additional invoices will keep coming in as they continue to do work.
All right, any questions?
What percentage would this be? Like, how
Commissioner,
far
I'd
along
probably
are-
say we're maybe 20%.
Okay.
It's mostly just door closures, miscellaneous hardware. We ran into a little snag with the main lock system themselves. So we're going to a manufacturer, asking them for recommendations on what needs to be done. So the project's kind of at a standstill right now until we get some further information from the manufacturer and from the installer. But we're about 20%.
Okay, any other questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the invoice.
Second.
Have motion and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in
One
favor
question
say.
real quick.
Yeah,
One question real quick, Judge. TJ, are we still gonna come in at budget?
So there's some things in the work right now that we're trying to figure out. So the mortise locks that were spec'd for the project won't fit perfectly inside the doors. So much additional modifications have to be made to the door itself for that new mortise lock to fit. So that's why we're working with the manufacturer to see if there's a solution or a different product that we can purchase that'll fit the doors that we currently have. So we won't know that for probably at least the next 2 weeks, and then we'll know further information. There could be some slight changes.
Thank you.
did we get a motion on that, Judge?
Yes.
We did,
Oh, yes, we did, Jones and Perry.
Yeah, I made the motion.
okay. All right, if no other questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Right, we have nothing under item O, the venue project, under the radio tower project. Did just want to mention that Frank Patterson and Motorola will be in court. I believe we're shooting for May the 7th. It could be the 21st, but we'll have a good final update on the radio tower project. Judge, with that, I believe that should be all the action items.
Okay, Mercedes, we cover everything? She's nodding her head, yes. Anything else to come before the court today? If not, we stand adjourned.